Very good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a supplementary reader from Unit 3. The topic of the supplementary reader is Earthquake by M.S. Mahadevan. What is earthquake? Have you experienced earthquake? In this story, we are going to see what will happen after the earthquake. Here you can see some pictures. In the first picture, you can see a tallest building was devastated by the earthquake. You can see the building turned into stones. In the next picture, you can see the road which was disturbed and devastated by the earthquake. Here, you can see a small village around the mountain. The story revolves around this place. It is Molti. In this story, we are going to see the earthquake which was happened some years before in Molti. Molti is a place situated in Uttar Pradesh. Let us move on to the text. Here, the story was narrated by the character Bridge. M.S. Mahadevan describes the destruction caused by earthquake in a place called Molti. In this story, an affected person narrates the effect of earthquake. Throughout the story, the reader passes through the emotion of the narrator. So here, the narrator, Bridge, describes the destruction of earthquake and he explained very effectively in the story. Greetings, traveler. Bridge is greeting the traveler who are coming to Molti. You look tired and cold. Are you a stranger to these parts? He's asking, are you a stranger? Are you a new person to this place? Waiting for the bus to Badrinath. Badrinath is a pilgrimage. It's a place to pray, and you can see a small picture. In this picture you can see the Badrinath. So he's greeting the traveler who are moving to Badrinath or a visitor to the Valley of Flowers. He's asking whether you are a pilgrim to Badrinath or you are a visitor to Valley of Flowers. You can see both the pictures in this slide. Anyway, whoever you are, come with me. Wait at my tea shop. It is just past the bend in the road. He is inviting the person to his tea shop. He is having a tea shop in Molti. As you can see, I am carrying this can of milk to the shop. He is informing that he is carrying milk to the shop. In 10 minutes, I will have a fire going. While you warm yourself, I will prepare for you the best cup of tea in all Garhwal. It will chase away the pinched blue look from your face. So he is telling that while you warm yourself by taking the cup of tea, you can warm yourself. I'll prepare for you the best cup of tea in all Garhwal. Garhwal is a place near to Molti. So he's telling that around this place, I can provide you the best tea here. It will chase away the pinched blue look from your face. Really, if you take my tea, it will remove the tiredness from your face. Here we are. Welcome to my humble roadside tea shop. He's welcoming everyone to his tea shop. Make yourself comfortable on the wooden bench. It looks rickety, but it will hold you weight. My name's Sir. I am called Bridge. He's introducing himself. He was introducing himself. The name of the tea shop owner is Bridge. I'm 17-year-old. I started this tea shop 2 years ago. He was just 17. So he started the shop 2 years before. It means at the age of 15, he started the roadside tea shop. Before that, I worked in a roadside shop outside Panipat. The heat, the crowd, the pollution. It was all too much. I had saved most of my earnings. I came back and with a little help, I started this shop. By the grace of God, it provides me a decent enough livelihood. So he is giving a small flashback about himself. He is informing that he started his learning process at Panipat in a small roadside shop. It was a hottest place, crowded with people and full of pollution. He saved some money in that tea shop. With the help of that money and from some people, he started the shop in near Molti. Really, he's earning some decent salary in this shop. Here, your tea is ready, strong, sweet, flavored with cardamom. Enjoy it, sir, while I'll get on with my course. So, he's providing the tea, a strong, sweetest, and flavored cardamom tea, and he informed that he's having some other work to do. This is my daily routine. So, what is his daily routine? He has to fetch milk to his shop, and then he has to provide a sweetest, flavored cardamom tea to the visitors. At sunset, I will shut my shop and walk back the 3 miles to my dwelling on the hillside. So he has to walk 3 miles back to his village. The name of the village. What is the name of the village? It was my village, the village of my ancestors. Ancestors means the forefathers, his father, his grandparents. So he's telling that the place where his ancestor lived. It is no more. Molti is gone. The name of the village is Molti. Now it was gone. What happened to my village? He's asking the question, what happened? He's going to explain in the upcoming portion. It was 4 years ago, in the month of October, one night, the earth quaked. So in the month of October, 4 years back, a severe earthquake attacked Molti. Yes, tremors are common in these parts. The Himalayan mountain, below the Himalayan mountain, always they experience mild earthquake. So he's telling that tremors means a small shake. So he's telling that it is often we can experience the tremors there. The snows may seem eternal, the Himalayas may look solid, but the truth is deep down they are unstable. We who live here are accustomed to tremors. So he's telling that it is usual one. We know the consequence of earthquake there. But what happened that night was more than that. It was a terrible earthquake. Its effects were felt as far as Delhi and Lucknow. But on that night, it was a terrible earthquake. You can experience the earthquake from Delhi till Lucknow, and Molti destroyed fully. You can see a map here. You can see a flower, green color flower, where the place is there. You can see from that green spot, Lucknow, you can see the arrow mark, and Delhi, you can see the arrow mark, and you can see a blue roadway. Still that they can feel the tremors. So more than 500 or 600 kilometers were affected by the earthquake. Even Delhi people feel the tremors. Lucknow people also feel that Molti was destroyed because of that earthquake. Can you imagine the devastation of the heart of the earthquake? Can you imagine that? What will happen? Or how it devastate the places? How it devastate the human heart? The epicenter was in a valley not far from here. So epicenter means the center part of the earthquake. It was happened in the valley. There were 670 villages in the valley. Totally 670 villages. Out of 670 villages, 602 were devastated. There are 670 villages in the valley. Out of 670, 602 villages were devastated. It demolished. The earthquake demolished 602 villages. The earthquake lasted less than 5 minutes. Below 5 minutes. It lasted below 5 minutes. Time enough to set these centuries old mountains crashing to reduce a village to rubble, to snuff out hundreds of lives. It takes only 5 minutes below to destroy all the mountains, hundreds of lives, and the village into rubble. So nothing was there in the village. You can see the small picture about the earthquake. The epicenter is inside the earth, so it will create a shake in the surface. The villages, the road, everything was devastated because of the earthquake. It was sheer chance that I was away that night. At that night, bridge was not in that place. I had gone to Pori to buy my school book. So he was a school boy at that time. Now he was 17, 4 years back. It means 13-year-old, a school going boy. He was not at that place, so he went to Pori to buy his school books. I stayed the night at my uncle's house. We felt the tremor. They also felt the tremor. He was not there in the village. We ran out into the open. Again and again the tremors came. We spent the entire night outside. Pori lived through the night. Molti did not. He stayed in Pori. The people in Pori has slept at that night, but Molti people did not sleep because of the severe earthquake. For the living, the nightmare began at daybreak when the news trickled in of the large-scale devastation. The next morning, they can hear about the devastation happened in Molti. There were dozens of landslides. Because of earthquake, the mountains were slid into the villages. Huge boulders thrown haphazardly across motorable tracks and roads. Huge boulders, big buildings were thrown haphazardly. Haphazardly means in the random manner. It fall into the motor roads. Precious time was spent in blasting the rocks and clearing the way for army rescue teams. So the people are clearing the roads for the way for the army team. It was all of 4 days before help arrived for Molti. 4 days they are waiting for the army people to come to this place. I was among the first to reach the village. My uncle accompanied me. We have seen that Bridge and his uncle were residing in Pori. They are returning back to the village. We feared the worst, but nothing had prepared us for what we saw. They did not prepare their mind to see what will happen, but they were shocked to see what was happened there. Every single house, every wall, every roof has been flattened. Everything was flattened. Stone, rubble and dust were all that remained. Our house was a 2-storied stone building with a slate roof. My great-grandfather has built the house. We were a small family. My father had died after an illness just 14 months ago. Before the earthquake, a year ago, Bridge's father was died because of illness. They are residing in a 2-storied building. It was built by his grandfather and it was a very small family resided in Molti very happily. My mother took care of us. We were 3 children. I was the oldest. Bridge was the oldest one. Neelu was 10-year-old boy and Bully, my 2-year-old sister. It's a small family and Bully was a 2-year-old baby of the family. My grandfather lived with us. So it's a small family, mother, 3 children and a grandmother. First one is Bridge, second one is Neelu and the third one is Bully. When the soldiers began to clear the debris, my uncle led me away. I was in the complete daze, too numb to feel anything. He was really dumbstruck by seeing the house as well as the village. The soldiers had set up a makeshift camp. Someone gave me tea and biscuits. I don't know how long I was there. He was really dumbstruck to see what was happened there. He was numb. Someone provided him tea and biscuits. So he was sat there to see what was happening. Suddenly, it was evening and uncle was standing beside me. They have taken the bodies to the riverbank. They are removing all the dead bodies from the house to the riverbank. He said gently, "Come, you must perform the last rites before sunset. Tomorrow we will go back to Pari." His uncle is inviting him to perform the last rituals, rites to the dead bodies. So, he is informing him that they will move to Pari the next morning. I had last seen my family while leaving for Pari. They stood at the doorway and waved. He's thinking about the day before experience. He is leaving Pari to buy his school books. At that time, in the doorsteps, his mother, grandmother, Neelu and Bully are waving their hands and he's sending off to Pari. That is the way I will always remember them, smiling and waving at me, not at the white shrouded, lifeless figures I saw. White shrouded means wrapped with white colored dress to bury. The dead bodies are wrapped in a white colored cloth to bury. So he saw the happiest face, waving their hands, sending off to the Pari. Now he is seeing the dead bodies of his family members in a white cloth. So he was very unfortunate to see the real thing happening in Molti. So we'll continue what will happen in the upcoming lessons. Rickety, a structure of piece of equipments purely made and likely to collapse. Tremor, a slight earthquake. Devastation, the state of being decayed or destroyed. Haphazardly, in a random manner, everything is happening. Debris, the dead body remains. White shrouded, white colored dress wrapped in a dead body. Pious, a heap of burnable material. Especially here, you can see white shrouded dead bodies here. Pious means the funeral ceremony to the dead people. So you can see both the pictures here. We will continue what will happen to Bridge family and why Bridge is explaining everything to us in this upcoming classes. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.